The next big thing we're working on is actually, we're starting to have customers actually ask now that they want to have different visitor types come into the system. So, for example, your own employee, you might want to ask different questions than a visitor or than a subcontractor. So the ability for that visitor when they check in to identify, whether the employee, the subcontractor, the delivery person, and then based on who they identify themselves as, the type of visitor, then they might be asked different contact information. Your own employees, you don't need certain things, but your subcontractors you do. Where when they actually check in, the badge actually needs to have different instructions because they're a delivery person, right? They'll be told they need to go to some other gate to actually do a delivery as part of the process. So it's really about you're just again putting more control in the system to capture different visitor types, ask different questions of them is a big part of it. The other thing we've also noticed with the check-in and check-out capability is certain customers, they have max occupancy limits at their locations. And certainly if you're doing check-in, check-out, that does give you visibility to who is actually there kind of currently to make sure you're not exceeding any max capacity issues. And we think there are some things we can do there as well to do things like let you set up a max capacity per site, a number per site in our system. And then as that capacity starts to approach max capacity or even starts to exceed max capacity, that you could actually alert supervisors and safe officers to tell them that, hey, you've actually reached the max occupancy, at your location. You shouldn't be letting other people check in because you're in violation of, some occupancy rule. So those are the types of things that we do have in the queue. And we tend to do updates to the app every 2 to 3 or so weeks. And progressively, you'll see more announcements from us over the upcoming weeks as we start to bring in some of these additional capabilities.